Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, shall we start?
Yes, please. Yes, Nimika.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you all to this beautiful and a self-awakening session, Mindset Makeover. For those of you just joining us, please welcome. There is a saying that tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here is one of the example. Dinas Vervetwala, founder and CEO of Dinas Fitness, entrepreneur, Guinness World Record holder, spiritual healer, survivor, a wife and a good mother. Her journey from a normal middle class born girl to a Guinness World Record holder is very inspiring, motivating, and brainwaving. So come let us learn and get acquainted with some of her qualities. The name Dinas means a sea. As how smooth seas do not make skillful sailors, there are so many ups and downs in her life too, which we all can relate. Having lost her father at a very early age, she continued to work hard and motivated herself in shaping her personal and professional career. As a result, she added the tag Chartered Accountant to her name and rendered her services for a popular CA firm. After that, she discontinued her profession and followed her intuition to become a fitness professional. Aerobics was barely known till then. At the age of 27, she took it as a serious profession and strived hard to prove herself in it. It took her a period of 6 months to get one customer, but her will and determination helped her in succeeding and she went on growing. Eventually, she became the fitness trainer of Saina Nehwal and trained her for years. Now comes the most horrific part of her life. In 2005, she met with a fire accident. She succumbed to 53% burns including lung burns, when the leakage from the gas cylinder in her kitchen led to a huge explosion. The doctors had declared that the chances of her survival were grim. But even then, she struggled. She fought back. She had set small targets and was so determined to get back to her normal life. After 3 months, she started going back on air for TV shows and business well as usual with a smile, thereby proving that the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. So, friends, please join me in welcoming Madam Dinas Barwetwala. Madam, now the mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Nimika. That was a beautiful introduction and a very long introduction, but it was a beautiful introduction. And thank you once again. Very well spoken and very well said. Good morning, girls and boys, and welcome to this awesome session on mind body fitness. On mindset makeover. The whole idea is everything is 80% of the mind and 10% of the body and 10% nutrition. I strongly believe in the power of the mind, and in today's session is going to last for about an hour. I will be speaking to you for about 40 minutes on the mindset makeover, and then for 20 minutes we'll have a Q&A section. If all of you can see me and hear me clearly, give me a hi in the chat box. Let's keep the session as interactive as possible, and it would be lovely if all of you would switch on your videos, everybody. Give me a hi in the chat box and let me know which city you're logging in from. And switch on your videos. Yeah, Nimika, can you not? Yeah, don't do anything now. Nimika, don't change the settings. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks. Good morning, everybody. You're from Hyderabad. Everyone is from Hyderabad. Awesome. Thank you so much to Mr. Nagraju for making this possible. It's my mission and my passion to help people, inspire people, and put you on the track to a point where you do not know me any longer. As Nimika rightly said, what I'm going to do is today's session, I'm going to be talking to you about mindset makeover, but I will be weaving in my story so that it inspires you to take your journey from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. So how many of you have dreams and aspirations? Give me a D and A in the chat box. Nimika, can you not touch the settings? Yeah. How many of you have dreams? Give me a D in the chat box. Give me a D in the chat box if you have dreams. Awesome. Give me a D in the chat box if you have dreams. You all are very slow. When you're typing, you need to type to everybody. Go to panelists and all attendees. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Give me a yes in the chat box. If you can see my screen, give me a yes in the
Yes,
chat
ma'am.
box.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can see.
Okay. Nimika, I want the participants to be way more interactive with me. That's the only way we'll communicate with each other. Okay.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want
Of
each and
course.
every one of you to be very participative. So as Nimika rightly said, I started my journey way back in 1993 with one student. I came from a middle class family and business was definitely not on the cards. I was taught to become a chartered accountant, and like a lot of you, forced into a lot of academic problems, academic things that we didn't want to do. However, in 1993, I decided to give up my chartered accountancy and I decided to get into the fitness field. Way back in 1993, no one even understood and recognized the power of exercise. No one recognized that this could potentially be a business. But when I started, every time I share my story, I wanted to be inspired. When I started with just one student. And before you know it, it became 6 gyms. I trained and coached and mentored people from all walks of life. For 6 months, I sat out there waiting for the first student to come. And that's when I realized the power of the mind. I would sit there and waited for the first student to come and nobody came. And every single day, I would sit and visualize that my first student has come. And before you know it, it became 6 gyms. So the first thing is your thoughts become your everyday experiences. What you think is very important. Your journey is very important with your thought processes. What you think is what you become. This is universal information. Now, if you have negative thoughts, you will start attracting negative things in your life. If you have positive thoughts, you will start attracting positive things in your life. All that you are doing today, all that you are today are the experiences that you have picked up from the past. So therefore, it is very essential for you to not dwell in the past, whereas think of the present and think of the future. Now, every day, whatever we are doing is a manifestation of our own thoughts. Supposing you have tripped and fallen, I'm giving you a broad example. Supposing you have tripped and fallen, that means there is a possibility that you have manifested that. Yes, it sounds very weird, but these are all manifestations of our own doings. And then when a lot of negative things start happening, you start believing in it. You start believing in that fact that yes, that is the truth, that is your life, and then you go into a poor me syndrome. But the truth is that everybody who is here is different. Each person is unique from the other. And you have the power, you have the capacity to make a change in your own life. So therefore, it is very important for you to remove past thoughts, especially negative memories. I want you to erase those negative memories and reinstall the power of the mind. And that's how I started my journey, from one student to 6 gyms. And then all was going really well in my life. In 2005, I met with a major fire accident. I did not believe that this happened to me, but the reality is it did. I was down to 53% burns. Not a joke. The doctors told me that I would be in the hospital for an entire year, which means my entire business would be wiped out. But I already had a fit body, and I used the power of my mind to heal myself from internally and externally, and come back to work within 3 months. It was a record that I broke in the hospital. That strong is the power of your mind. If you get a cold or if you fall sick, you have manifested that in your life. If you're well, healthy, and hale and hearty, you have manifested that in your life. Therefore, it is very, very important for you to have extremely positive thoughts. I'm not here to tell you that you have to have positive thoughts alone. I'm here to tell you that you have to enjoy living. You should not worry about dying your youth inside. You have to learn how to manage stress because you cannot avoid it. You have to learn to live in the world more fully and not withdraw from it. You need to learn to take care of yourself so that you can give back fully to others. It's not about living longer, but it's about living better. Because it's not about life. It's the quality of life that we lead. And therefore, the mind plays a very, very major role. And what kind of thoughts we have, what kind of choices we make has a huge impact. How we eat, what we eat, how we respond to stress, how much we exercise, whether we smoke or not, our social benefits, our social relationships, all of these have a huge impact on our wellness and our well-being. And therefore, the goal is not to tell you that you have to change, but to provide you with the facts so that you make informed choices. Today, we are leading way more sedentary lives. And when we are leading way more sedentary lives, our minds are going to sleep. This phone, the screen, the time that you take to study is making your brain more dull. 80% of what you want to happen or what you want to manifest happens from the mind. 20% is the physical work. So if you girls and boys have dreams and aspirations, the first step that you need to do is to write them down. What do you want to become? You will become what you think about. If you want to become a beggar, you will think about a beggar. If you want to be a top-notch salesman, you will think about a salesman. If you want to work for a company and have a steady income, you will become that. But if you think of working for a salesman, working as in a company, you cannot become a businessman. You have to think like a businessman to become a businessman. And that's how my entrepreneurship journey went on forward. I had a corporate office of 70 people working for me. And at a time, 60 trainers working for me. And thousands of students. And one day I was sitting in a classroom like you, with no dreams, nothing. But the day I made a decision that this is what I wanted, I worked towards it. The first step of getting that success was getting my body physically fit. I had dreams of getting the country on the world map. I had dreams of getting on top, having a good name, having good money, having a beautiful home, having a lovely car. I didn't have all that, but I had dreams and I made it happen. I did the world's longest aerobics marathon for 26 hours non-stop in 2010, and I entered the Guinness Book of World Records. The only reason somebody can do 26 hours non-stop is when your mind takes over from your body. Physically, the body is not capable of doing 26 hours of non-stop, more than a day of non-stop exercising. And the only reason it was possible was because I have a strong mind. I have developed my mind, and I want each and every one of you at this young age, at the time that you're in college, it's the time for you to develop your minds, especially at a time when you are studying from home. Are you all studying from home? Yes or no? Is everyone studying from home? Yes or
Yes, ma'am.
no?
Yes, ma'am. All online classes.
Or where is everybody? Why are they not giving me chats in the chat box? Are they shy or are they lazy? Nimika?
Yes, ma'am. They are giving now.
They're giving?
Yes, ma'am. They are giving.
Yeah, right. Yes. This is the time when you're studying from home, when everything is online. That is the time when you need to invest in your own self. First, invest in your body. Start exercising on it. How many of you in this room exercise every day? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no in the room. Come on, quickly. Quickly type up. I want 60 answers fast. So if you are eating food every day, you need to move your body every day. And when you move your body every day, there are a lot of benefits. Your body starts becoming stronger. Your mind starts becoming stronger. And your body is no more lazy. So first, I want all of you to start with your body. And then reprogram your mind. When you have online classes, you are saving time from traveling. Sometimes 1 hour a day, sometimes 2 hours a day, depending on where you stay. Utilize that excess amount of time that you have when you're at home in investing in your own health, in your mental health, and learn to reprogram your body, reprogram your mind. For you to reprogram your mind, you need to first ask yourself, what are the stories of the past that you're holding on to? You need to ask yourself, were there any instances that you were holding on to? It's time for you to let go of those stories. Maybe sometime when your teacher reprimanded you, or you had a fight with your sibling, or your parents told you something, or you lost a loved one, or you had a relationship breakup. You have to be strong enough to be able to go through that, because there are bigger things on the way. And if you don't know how to deal with the smaller ones, you will not be able to deal with the bigger ones. And what about the fears? How are you dealing with your fears? Fears of COVID, fears of exam, pressure of studies, fears of what will happen job-wise. What kind of jobs are you going to get? Fears of where are you going to stay? How are you going to travel? Where is the money going to come from? These are all the fears that you have. But you cannot go ahead in life if you hold on to these fears. It's important that you let go of the fears and manifest the good in your life. And that is why you're holding on to a lot of stress many a times. It's time for you to let go of the stress. Literally let go of it. And stay in the moment, stay in the positive. When you stay in the moment and when you stay in the positive, that's when you start feeling better. Now, this is the time when you're studying and you're planning your future. If you have no plan, then nothing will happen. But if you have a plan, then you got to work towards it. But before you start working towards your plan, you need to understand what is your why. Why is it that you are here? Why is it that you're doing your studies right now? What do you want to achieve from it? My mentors told me one thing, that you will be successful provided you have a very strong why. For example, if you're studying here because you want to earn a lot of money, what are you going to do with that money? Why do you want that money? Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to buy a car. Maybe you want to buy some jewelry or clothes. But until and unless you don't have a definite plan of why you want to do it, you're not going to be able to take it forward. So if you're studying right now, your immediate goal is to understand why are you doing your MBA and how are you going to benefit from it? What are you going to achieve from it? Now, all this why and all these goals and everything is fine. What about your mind codes? What kind of mind codes do you have? If you have negative thought processes, you will attract negative in your mind. I'm studying so hard, but still I get in the exams, I get only in my 40s. Whatever I do, I'm not a topper. Just succumbing to your situation is a negative mind code. Versus, how about crossing all those negative mind codes and making them very positive? I am a topper in my class. I am a money-making machine. I make my parents proud. I make myself proud. With little work, I can achieve a lot. These are all positive mind codes. If you have negative mind codes, you will get negative in your life. If you have positive mind codes, you will achieve positive things in your life. So therefore, it is very important for you to convert the negative mind codes, to cross the negative mind codes and leave it, throw it away, and to have only positive mind codes. And if you don't know what is happening with you, a lot of you don't even know. Every time you have a thought, write it down. At the end of the day, you realize how many of them were negative and how many of them were positive. And this is what will change your negative mind codes to positive mind codes. Mind is one thing, thought are different things. But what about your habits? We all have good habits and we all have bad habits. Make a list of all your good habits. Maybe you wake up on time, maybe you study every day, maybe you drink lots of water, because water gives a lot of energy. Maybe you write down your goals every day. Maybe you say your prayers every day. Maybe you do meditation every day. What do you do every day to feed your soul? Maybe you have negative, some bad habits. You're on your phone all the time. You're on social media all the time. Go to your Instagram and see your activity and find out how many hours of a day you're on Instagram. You should not be more than 5 minutes. Post and move out, post and move out. And that is what makes it productive. List down what time you sleep in the night and what time do you wake up every day. How often do you have a shower? How often do you say your prayers? What are you doing spiritually to uplift your soul? What kind of foods do you eat? Make a note of all this. When you make a note of all this, that's when you realize that these are the areas that you need to make a change in. When you realize that, you'll start making a change. So take all your habits, write down all your good habits, then write down all your bad habits. Take one bad habit and put it in a process goal and make a change. That's how you make a change. How many of you are understanding this? Give me a U in the chat box. Understanding. Yeah. Awesome. And it's very important for you to set your goals. Goals are of several types. Outcome goals and process goals. Your outcome goals are the goals that tell you what you want to achieve. Say, for example, you want to get 75% in your exams. That is an outcome goal. Or you want to complete your portion by so and so date. That is an outcome goal. Now, in reprogramming your mind, it's very necessary for you to write down your outcome goals. When you write down your outcome goals, you have clarity that this is what you want to achieve. Now, once you have clarity on what you want to achieve, you need to have the process on how to achieve it. So you need to write down the process. Maybe you will study 6 hours a day. Maybe you'll have a buddy system and study with a friend who's an achiever. Maybe you'll cut out social media. Maybe you'll reach out to your teachers or your mentors more often. Maybe you will not sit in the back bench when you go back to college. These are all very important things in today's day and age. Until and unless you don't have clarity on your goals, you will not be able to achieve them. So these goals have to be very smart goals, specific, exactly what you want. They have to be very measurable. So by so and so date, you should be able to measure it. These are the exam marks that I want. They have to be very achievable. You can't say that you want to achieve 90% when you're working for 40%. Your actions determine your results. They have to be very realistic and time-based. This is your period, this is your time, this is your journey. Set your own goal to be able to take the journey forward. And now only setting a goal will not help you to achieve it. These goals have to be you have to be very clear in your goals, and you have to tell accountability. So you have to tell somebody, you have to have a strong intention. So you can tell somebody, maybe your best friend, maybe your parents, and take the support. Because remember, you cannot do everything on your own. You need support, you need guidance in this journey. Have you understood goals and intentions? Give me a GI in the chat box. Super. I want you to know that hurdles will come your way. But you have to learn to overcome these hurdles, to jump these hurdles, to be able to stay on track. Was my journey easy? It was never easy. It seems very easy that I'm an achiever. But all top-notch achievers have the biggest struggles. The difference is we know how to overcome every hurdle. So every time a hurdle came in my life, I dusted myself and I said, is this my best? Is this your best shot? And I took my journey forward. There was never a moment, dull moment in my life when I said, oh my God, why me, God? What wrong have I done? That is the poor you syndrome. If you have a poor you syndrome, you will never be able to get the results. So therefore, it is very important for you to stay on your journey. This journey is not struggle-free. Hurdles will come. You have to learn how to overcome these hurdles. It is very important for you not to lose motivation. Somebody asked me the other day, what motivates me, or who is my greatest motivator? What motivates me? And my answer was, I motivate myself. I'm a self-motivated person because I have dreams, I have aspirations. So I wake up every day and say, yes, I've just got another day in my life. Because I know that there is no secret pill. There is no secret potion in this journey that I'm telling you to take of a powerful mind. There is a start date, which is today if you choose to, but there is no end date. And in order for you to do all this, you need a system. Set your goals, create your affirmations, have strong minds, exercise, feed your body, feed your soul every day. Don't wait till tomorrow. Start this journey from this moment onwards. Is it okay to slip back even for a day? It's never okay to slip back even for a day. You slip back even for a day, you have slipped back 10 days behind. You've gone 10 days behind because not all are motivated to stand up and restart the journey again. So therefore, do not procrastinate. It's not my life. It's your life. It's not my journey. It's your journey. So motivate yourself. Be in the state of readiness. Have you seen runners on a running track? They are like this. They are ready to go. That's how I am. I am ready to go all day long. Be like that. When you're ready to go all day long, things will happen for you, not to you. Don't allow things to happen to you. Make things happen. Manifest things in your life. You know, sometimes when we are when we go through these hurdles, we slip back, we procrastinate, we do some wrong things. It's okay. Don't shame yourself for it. Dust yourself and get up and start again. But don't succumb to temptation every time. Succumbing to temptation every time will keep you at the back. Set realistic deadlines for yourself. not unrealistic deadlines. Set realistic deadlines and you'll be able to achieve it. You need to learn how to stay very strong. There will be times in your life when you will want to give up. I wanted to give up many times. But giving up is never an option. I never ever gave up. This is my 28th year of doing what I'm doing. Helping people to lose weight, get fit from the comforts of their own home. And motivating people through my motivational speaking engagements. So giving up is not an option. Get back your vision of success. What do you want from your life? Chart out, this is the right age to chart out exactly what you want. When you write down exactly how you want your life and you work towards it, you will get it. And even if you want to slip back, remind yourself what's at stake. For example, if you don't score well in your MBA exam, you're not going to get a top-notch job. You'll have to settle for something mediocre. Don't settle for second. Number two, be number one. Be the change. Change your negative mind codes into positive mind codes. Focus on your why. And there will never be a day when you will slip down. There will never be a day when you fall down. Because it's just not life. It's the quality of life that you need to pan and plan out for yourself. Thank you so much. Now I'll be taking questions. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to put them up in the chat box. Or if you want me to give you unmute access, I can do that as well. Nikita, you can. Nimika.
Yes, ma'am.
People have questions. We can take questions now.
Okay, ma'am. Guys, please ask your questions. We'd love to have your questions.
Shall I give them unmute access?
Okay, ma'am.
You can just ask the question, unmute yourself, ask the question, and I'll answer it.
Yeah, ma'am. Good morning.
Morning, Rakesh.
It is a warm welcome and very grateful to have your session, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nice, wonderful. Ma'am, can you tell one situation like which have changed your mindset in your future? That not only practicing in any life, one situation will come to change one mindsets to another, and that will be the life of them. Can you tell that situation in your life?
Yeah. When I wanted to do the Guinness record, I didn't want to do 26 hours non-stop. I only wanted to do 8 hours to raise money for a charity. So I went and tied up with the NGO, spoke to the director, and I told the director that I'll raise money because I wanted to educate some children in Charminar. And I said that I will raise money, and whatever little expenditure I have for my event, the remaining money, we will give it to charity. He said, yeah, it's okay. But nobody came forward and gave me any money. So I went back to the director and I said that, no one's given us any money. So he looked at me and he said, Dinaz, who do you think is going to give you money to stand on stage and dance for 8 hours? I thanked him. I was very angry from inside. I thanked him. I stepped out of his office, and that night I did my research and decided that I will show him and the people of our country what it takes to have a strong mind and a strong body. And I decided to do the world's longest aerobics marathon for 26 hours non-stop. I set up my own NGO. I raised 1 crore of rupees that time. And whatever money was left over, we gave it away to charity. So keep that mind really strong. Something happens, don't succumb to a situation. Come out of it. Is that okay?
That's the same situations everyone will face in our lives.
Yes.
So that's the situation we have to overcome. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Great.
Next question. No question is a stupid question. No question is silly. No question is to be shy of. So just unmute yourselves. Guys, this is the chance to talk to me. You won't get this chance again. Anything, any question. Don't feel shy.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. I'm Nandini from MBA first year.
Yes, Madini.
So we are really very happy and glad that we are having you here. So actually, I have a doubt. I don't know if it is right or wrong, but I just wanted to put it in front of you.
Tell me.
Ma'am, if we have 2-3 situations first, like first thing is, as a middle class student or middle class girl, we have financial problems. So first thing is family. I mean, we have to be supported to our family. Second thing is career. I mean, how can we set up our career? Either like we have to work. So should I choose any kind of stream or any kind of job which satisfies my family needs? Or the third thing is goal. Should I stick on to my goal or my family? It is a big confusion for a girl in her life. So can you help me out in solving this, ma'am?
So one of the things, Nandini, is first and foremost, as a girl, and especially coming from the Indian traditional culture, I strongly believe that you have to go with the dreams of you have to be in sync with your family. You do not do things which is against your family members, but at the same time, you need to balance out your career and your money. Where it comes to money, and you said you come from a middle class family, I want all of you to know one thing, that there is ample money in the world. If you say that you have less money, you will have less money. If you dream big and you write down your goals that you want to make, say for example, you write down your goal and you want to make 5 lakhs a month, and you write it down every day, you will find a way to make that money. And you will change the trajectory of not only your life, but also the life of your family members. It is at this young age how much you all believe in it. Maybe your fathers, our father, my father as well, made very little money. And that is why we come from this lack of money mindset. But there is a lot of money out there. Dream big, work towards it, write down your goals every day. Write down your goal, your money, if money is the most important thing. Write down your goals every day. Why do you want to do that? Or what do you want to achieve? And you will be able to achieve it. Make sense, Nandini?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Okay, there is Anirudh, who's how to deal with stress and pressure when we face it. The first thing you need to do is when you're facing with stress and pressure, you write down, listen to this. It's a very big secret I'm sharing with you today. You write down, I let go of my stress or my studies, for example. You write it down and you cross it and you tear it up and you throw it. And you keep doing that till the stress leaves you. then the pressure will come down automatically. Okay, Anirudh? Saidulu, what helps to bounce back when things are going badly? When I met with my fire accident, everything was going badly with me. My body was burnt, my business was down, and people who were my own students left me because they were not sure whether I'll come back or not alive. What kept me going was my mission, my mission, my why. Why am I doing it? And I was way younger that time. And yet I had a mission. So you have to have your mission. When you have a strong mission, your mission could be your life mission, could be your money mission, could be your job mission. When you have a very strong mission, you'll be able to bounce back. Saidulu. Okay? Next.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Harshita.
Morning.
Ma'am, you said you were a CA during the period of 1993, before the period of 1993.
Yes.
Now, it was a good, very good profession for a lady during those times, I understand. And when you say you were working for a very good firm, it means that you had I'm assuming you had a very well-paid job and a good title. So, ma'am, what was your first why which made you come out of that? You know, I know it takes a lot of guts to come out of some very stable, well-paying job to come out and launch yourself towards your mission. So, what was your first why, and how did you stick to it, ma'am?
My first why was I didn't want to work for anybody because at that time my son was only a year old. And as a lady, it was very necessary for me to take care of my own son. So my first why was my family, my children. So I needed to strike that balance between my profession and my family. And at that time, I knew that the requirement of my family was way more than the profession. So I stepped out of it. I was willing to do the sacrifices that I needed to with materialistic things around me. And my second why, my biggest why was I wanted to do things from my own home where I can take care of my own home and my own family. And I want you to know that I stuck to that why so strongly that today, even after 28 years, I'm doing the same thing. I'm working from my own home so that I can look after my family. I look after my dog, look after my husband, and take care of my business as well.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, Harshita. How to balance joint family and work stress together. See, if you are in a job and you find it stressful, you need to step out of it. If you're in a job which you don't like, you need to start liking it because you chose to take that job. Nobody has forced you. You're unhappy with it, change your mindset, step out and find another job. If you're living in a joint family, you need to make peace with yourself, not with other people around you, because there is nothing wrong with other people around you. When you find something wrong in somebody else, that means there is something wrong in yourself. So everything starts from yourself. So start learning to look at things from yourself, from within you, rather than outside of you. Gautami.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Rakesh.
No. Good morning, ma'am. First of all, this is Rakesh. Yeah, how to handle work balance life, ma'am? While in further we are going to face a lot of work balance, like pressure from job and family, then and a few responsibilities are there, and work balance in, like, while doing work, we lost some, like a family, like we, like may not spend with some time with family, and we lost our personal career also, like while doing work for money, like that. How we can handle work balance life?
See, Rakesh, one of the most important things for you to understand is that whatever you are choosing is a choice. You have the choice of making a change in your career if you're not happy with your career. But you don't have a choice of handling changing your family. If you're in a job or in your career and you're not happy with it, you have the option of walking away. The way I walked away from my career as a chartered accountant, because I wasn't happy in it. It could have been a very lucrative profession and good name, good everything. But I stepped out. Now, Rakesh, you need to understand that you have to balance, give time equally to your work and give time to your family. The only way you will have time, have the way to do balance, work-life balance, is when all of you learn time management. If you want to wake up at 8:39 in the morning and then step out and go to work and then come back and not have the time, that's not called work-life balance. Manage your time, manage your day, and that's how you'll be able to do it. Abhishek, what is the biggest challenge which you had faced during achieving success? The biggest challenge, Rakesh, is that okay?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Abhishek, what is the biggest challenge which I faced during my achieving success? The biggest challenge we face always is money. Especially when you're talking about business. But if you think that that becomes a challenge, then it'll continue to become a challenge. But if you learn how to manifest and bring more positive things and positive money into your life, you'll be able to achieve it. I can see that the biggest challenge that all of you are facing over here, a lot of you are facing, is what is the biggest challenge? Is money the biggest challenge that you all are facing here? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Every middle class family should indeed in that. Yes.
Yeah. So if money is the biggest challenge you're facing here, I want all of you to know one thing. There is a lot of money in the world. Let's do this. Starting from today. Ask yourself, how much money do you want to earn on a monthly basis? And please make a note, write down this line. I am earning, write this down. I am earning dash lakh rupees consistently per month. And don't be scared to write a figure, because if you write a small figure, you will continue the tradition of a middle class family. But if you want to change the trajectory of your family, be bold and write a big figure. Could be 5 lakhs, could be 10 lakhs. Write down that big figure and change the trajectory of your entire family and your life.
Hello, ma'am. Excuse me.
Yes, Nimika.
I want to mention a point for our friends, those who are having a doubt that how can we manage money and work at the same time. So friends, madam, when she was at her age of 17 years, she used to go and work as an audit clerk, and she used to earn a salary of rupees 70, and she used to support herself and run out all her expenses, and she used to work and she used to learn. Morning time, all she used to work, and evening she used to go for learning audit classes, accounts classes, and all. So it is not about earning money; it is about what we learn. Even if we are earning less, we can learn more. Some opportunities are there where we might earn less, but we learn more knowledge. We earn more knowledge. So,
Good.
ma'am, one more thing I want to mention, that uh, this session is a bit of inspiration, which I gained from your life, and your personal life is very inspiring. Uh, this session is a small amount of it. And while I was introducing you at the beginning, I felt it was so less. And we students would be even more glad to know about you more and more, because if now in today's generation, if there is a single problem, a single difficulty, if we face in the path of our career in achieving something, on account of one amount of, or one difficulty, major difficulty, students feel low. They either leave it, or else they find an other alternative. So in your life there are so many situations where you did what you want. You went towards your passion, no matter about any others. You did what you like. So we would be more glad to have more and more sessions, if our students get a chance to know about you more, about your personal life, because it motivates us even more.
Follow me on social media. It's very inspiring. It'll keep your body fit. Here you go. That's my link. Follow me on social media. You'll be very inspired. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So can I close the session, Nimika?
Yeah, ma'am. Let me propose a vote of thanks on
Yeah.
behalf of my esteemed institution. We want to express our gratitude to our honorable guest, our speaker for today's session, Madam Dinas, who has paid her precious time for us and gracing this occasion with her presence. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. P. Nagaraja, sir, our vice principal, for coordinating and convening this session. A heartfelt thanks for him for being a backbone and constantly motivating us. And also a thanks for Mr. Sheikh Abdul Mazid, sir, for coordinating this session. Thank you, ma'am. We would like to have many more sessions like this with you.
Thank you so much, Nimika. You were wonderful. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Once again, thank you so much to Dr. Nagaraja for making this happen, and to Mr. Sheikh Abdul for making this happen. And thank you to each and every one of you. Nimika, you have been wonderful as a co-host over here. And I wish you all the very best. Keep moving, keep rocking, keep inspiring yourselves, keep motivating yourself. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.